Hello, have you heard of Anchor? I have, and it's an easy way to make podcasts. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. It's free. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's free. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download your free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White, and I am your host for Keeping It Real on Purpose. Yes, you're in the place of keeping it real because you're in the place that knows how to keep everything real. We keep you in the know for in-depth conversations about life purpose and personal wellness in every aspect of your life. We talk about real life issues to develop a great life, to create healthy relationships, and have a profitable business. We keep it real. And today on the show, we're excited to have Ricardo Kok, who is a dream, I don't want to say it wrong now, he is a dream expert who is based on his knowledge of the field of theology and psychology, has been given practical tips mainly to young people who are 16 through lectures and training courses, guest lectures, television programs, theater shows, music, books, columns, and podcast discovery. I just know that this is going to be really, really great because it focuses on dream and purpose in life. Welcome, Ricardo, to Keeping It Real.
Thank you, Edna, for having me. Keeping It Real, love the name.
Thank you.
So it's one of my main purposes, keeping it real.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what brought you to, or how did you start showing up in the world as a dream expert?
I have the simple answer. That's just by showing up out of my mother's womb.
Good one.
because it's something I be and later on. But I happen to be from my young age. I was a dreamer. I see possibilities in things where others say it's a mess. You see potential in things. They look far of potential. For example, when I was 7 and I was stuttering when I was 7, my mother has tapes, recording tapes, where I was teaching and speaking and preaching in my own bedroom with my stuttering sound. Well, there was nowhere there, but I speak like there were millions there and people you need to. And I was 7 with my high voice that I had that time. And even though all the things I discover, for example, when I was 13 at school, I was in the computer room and just mailing to governmental leaders about solutions for the problems they got, because I thought I can change something. Even though everyone found it crazy, I just kept on dreaming because I see something bigger than myself,
right,
than the problems there were, even though I suffer a lot of negative things.
Right.
And 2 years ago, when I was 16, I started speaking in front of stage, on the stage. And until 2 years ago, I was just thinking, I speak, a lot of people get inspired by the topic I speak about self-confidence, identity, character, mission, purpose, goals, relationships, marriage, parenthood. I have a daughter. But I was thinking, every time I speak with my coach, but you need to have one thing that's a common.
Yes, absolutely.
And I tried to find out what it was, and couldn't find any rest. And for that time, it was okay because it was just a playground to finding things out and just do it. Don't strict yourself before the time is there.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years ago, I was thinking, but the common ground, that's dreaming. That's something I am. That's
Yeah.
something, it goes so naturally for me. I can't imagine how you can dream and see potential.
Yeah.
For me, it's so normal. And I live in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a standard right here. Sometimes I more like the American.
Right.
Like the American dream, they are much easier to dream. It's
Right.
for them. Uh, but 2 years ago, I thought that's the common ground. And my girlfriend and my team, because around then we started with our organization, Fellow Generation. They
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, but we knew already, because they are also friends, that you are the dream expert. And that's how it flows, just in a natural way. Something, I come out of the womb, I was already the dreamer, but I had uh, 30 years I had to go to find out that that's the
Uh-huh.
common ground.
That's what it was, right? And
Yeah,
and that's really goes to what purpose is,
yeah,
through the, you made a great point. I was who I was when I came out of the womb, but somewhere along the line, with whatever, you know, um, things that people were saying, or pronouncing on you, you kind of got out of the way. But at the same time, it gave you the ability to hone your skills on your
mm,
skill set, to learn more about who you really are and to be able to break free of all that, those words that people said that you were going to be and not be, and, encourage you, oh no, you need to do this. And so all of that subterfuge you kind of broke out of, which is great,
mm.
and you fulfill purpose. So tell me how dreaming is important part of our lives.
Now, in Western society, um, I love history, and let's start there.
Okay.
In the past, when I wasn't born yet, so I'm 32, uh, there was depression and all kind of the diseases, like they call it,
Mm-hmm.
about meaning in life. They weren't so much like now. And what we see right now in our society, and what they had to in history, they believed in God, and because God gave them some purpose,
Mm-hmm.
because of the Bible and stuff. And I don't say that people need to find it there also. That's not what I try to say. But we live in a world, and in America a little bit less, I guess, but also, but the Western world for sure. The
Uh-huh.
more people get rich, the more they lose their sense of meaning, because they get secular, they don't go to church anymore, and there is nothing else to fill that gap. Because as human beings, what makes us different from animals? Animals, they live by their instinct, and
Mm-hmm.
they are worthy, and we need to care for them, but they don't have something like, I want to do something on this earth. I want
Right.
to leave something. I leave a legacy, or you know.
Right. Right. Sure.
And, and we human beings, we have that, because we think, we feel, and we want to leave a legacy. And we see it with women. I like to see that with women in their 30s, when they're still single and they don't have children. We call it the biology clock in
Mm-hmm.
Holland. For they want children. No, but the thing is, they got the sense, I want to leave a legacy, and that's a child,
Right.
because it's something out of them. It's a legacy. Your blood goes further.
Mm-hmm.
For men, it's mainly they want to go for the career, and they want to build a business or be the best in this sector, in the branch, in the department,
Mm-hmm.
in the function. So because of the secularization, we lost that deep meaning, what we always got from the inside, and we're trying to find it on the outside of ourselves, in the external world. Like I
Right.
said, by a child,
Mm-hmm.
by a career, or by friends, or now you can famous, or influencer, or you can. go whatever you want. And I
Right.
don't say these are bad things,
Right.
but it don't fill the gap that's deep within you.
Right.
And dreaming, the importance of dreaming, that's the gap inside of you. Why are you here? The answer on that question, that's your dream, your mission, your cause, your purpose. Like this podcast is called Keeping It Real with Purpose. Uh, that purpose, that dream, that's the answer on the question, why am I here?
Right. Right.
That's
Okay.
that's one of the main questions of depression too. I had it for 2 years, and that's just to train in several thinkings. But the main question is, why am I here?
Right.
What I'm doing? Why do I live? And a lot of people in Western society, they struggle with this question, and that's one of the reasons that women is so important.
Right. So, why do we dream?
Um, if I say it from my perspective, I'm a Christian and I study theology.
Right.
And for me, we are here with a reason because God created us. That's what I believe. And because God created us to be, as His child, to be loved, to have a relationship with Him. And He makes us in a unique way, in an authentic way. And he wants us to enjoy ourselves, and we need that dream because the dream is so close to who you are. And to be who you are is to begin to dream. So when you dream and begin to dream, you come closer to who you are. And what a mother or a father in the normal world, in this visible world wants, is that their child find out who they are and become who they are.
Right.
So you want to challenge them to dream. I have a daughter from 6 years old. When she came, 2 weeks ago, she came to me and she said, "Daddy, I want to be a police officer, a fireman, and what was the last one again?
Dentist?
No, and a princess."
Oh, a prince. Yeah, my granddaughter says that too.
And she wants to do 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
So you can do, on that moment, you can do 2 things. Some people say, "Yeah, but that's not possible, honey."
Right.
But if you do that, you don't get them into who they really are.
Right.
Maybe that's not the real dream. That doesn't matter. They're on the playground.
Right.
You want to support them, and it will bond also your relationship, because human beings, but also God, want a relationship with people who are really who they are.
Right.
And not people who are trying to fake who they are not, or
Right.
who they are. So just being real, I love the podcast all the time. I love it. But just being real means to start dreaming, because dreaming brings you close to who you really are.
Nice. That's it. I like that. That it brings
So
you closer to who you really are.
Why we need to dream.
Yeah. It brings you closer to who you really are. I really like that. Now, some of us may dream, and as adults, we kind of put that behind us. Maybe we had a bad chili the day before. Those kind of things. We make up excuses. So, how can we begin to take note of our dreams? Should we start writing them down? How should we start just focusing on uncovering what the dream is?
First thing, I like the example of Walt Disney. And Walt Disney, we know all Walt Disney from the Disney World parks and the movies. But the way how he created this stuff is he had a room and he had a house, and in that house there were 3 rooms.
Okay.
And when he walked into the park or to the city, and he thought there need to be a new movie or new park, or you can call it. Then he came home and he said to his wife, "Honey, the next upcoming weeks I don't sleep next to you." And he goes to the first room, and that was where he slept. And on that first room there is standing the dreamer. And what he did there, and that's so important, he began to dream, but not in a general way,
Right.
but in a specific way. And one rule in that room: everything is possible. And I want to scream it out loud because our surroundings, and
Right.
mostly when we grow up as adults, young
Yeah.
people, they have it a little bit less, and children also. But
Mm-hmm.
when we grow up, we get so stuck in the realistic.
Yeah.
And I put, how do you say it?
Yeah, realistic. Yeah, the as we put it, the real world.
Yeah, not the real realistic.
It's not real. The real world. It's
Yeah,
it's societal. That's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we are so put in that realistic that when we start to dream without that rule, we think, okay, I want to build a business that travels all over the world and that will teach orphans to get a better life.
Right.
But, and then comes that but.
Uh-huh.
But I don't have a, but you need to have a buttectomy because that butt in your hand needs to come off there because the butt is some other place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's be honest. So we need to dream there and just make it specific, and everything is possible. And
Yes.
just write it down. And just the color. Even though it's small, you want to have a healthy family life with a wife or a husband and children. What kind of wife? Where do you live?
Exactly. Exactly.
Write it down. Yeah, but Ricardo, will it happen that way? That doesn't matter right now. Don't ask that kind of questions to yourself. And
Yeah.
if it helps to do it with someone, it can be, but seek someone who only asks deeper questions that they get it visible.
Exactly.
Don't criticize. So
Yeah, that's good.
When Walt Disney, go back to the story, was ready at the dream room, he goes to the next room. And in the next room, it's then the realistic. But still, I always get it in your head, it's not all realistic.
Right.
Realistic there is just, the rule is still true. Everything is possible.
Everything.
But what did he do there? He makes that dream into small steps. What do I need today to get there?
Yeah.
What do I need to accomplish in a month, in a week, in a year?
Yes.
And he makes small steps because that dream is maybe very big. Now, all dreams are very big.
Exactly.
If you want a healthy family life and a good wife or husband, that's a big dream.
Yeah.
I don't know the statistics in America, but in the Netherlands, one out of 3 marriages, they divorced within 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the statistics in America.
Oh,
in the United
America,
States are.
50% of it's like 50. It's bad.
Yeah. They say always the Netherlands. We walk 10 years behind.
Yeah, you're behind us. Well, but I don't think it's 2 years. I think it's 6 to 8. Yeah. It's 6 to 8 years they stay together.
That small dream we thought is also a big dream, but right now, what do you need to accomplish then? What do you need to do? What? Don't think after that room directly, but just write it down and make steps.
Yeah, it makes sense. Exactly.
Or video it or record it, find a way that works for you. Now, after that room, when he is finished there, he goes to the third room.
Right.
And I need to give a disclaimer to this room, but this is not the way we think this room will be. Because on that room, there was a nameplate, and it's called the critic.
What's it called?
The critic.
Okay. The critic, yes.
Disclaimer, not our critic.
Okay.
Going to do that. Yeah,
you're not our critic, right? Yeah.
He has some weird ideas of these.
Yeah, not our critic.
And the only thing he don't look at is dream, because still the dream is possible.
Right.
He look at his plan that he made at a realistic room, and he just asked one question: are there some weakness in this plan? And what is a weakness? If you make a step too big, because when you walk and you will try to walk with 2 big steps, you can't hold that for a long time. You can do that for a long time. So you want to walk in a normal normal speed. So he just looked, okay, are the steps not too big? that's a weakness in the plan.
Right.
If the answer is no, you're gonna just make action of the plan.
Right.
If the answer is yes, I have just a question because I know everyone. I love this question. I want to ask you, what do you think that Walt Disney will do?
What do I think that he would do? You mean according to his plan? He probably would.
The plan.
He would exercise it, so he would start building. I would think.
Yeah, but there are some weaknesses in the plan.
Oh, okay. There's some weaknesses.
Yeah. What is this next step? You think?
Find out the weaknesses. Find the weaknesses and find out what they are, and kind of face them.
But he knows that because.
Okay, he already knows that. Okay, all right. So, what would be his next step? Find a solution to the weaknesses.
And where do we do that?
He would do that in the first room.
Yes. Most people say, I do this a lot. I talk about this in a lot of lectures, a lot of trainings, a lot of workshops. They say he goes back to the realistic room because that's where the plan came from. Mm-hmm. But that's not where the solutions are.
Right.
It goes, like you said, I love it, to the dream room because there's the creativity. Because there is no lack of solutions.
Right. In the dream world. That's nice.
There can only be lack of creativity.
Yeah.
And why? Because we stop dreaming.
Right. So you say it again. So there's no lack of
solutions.
Solutions. I like that.
But only lack of creativity. Why? Because we stop dreaming.
Yeah.
Because everything we do, let's be honest, everything we want to accomplish, there is someone on this earth who already accomplished it.
Yes.
Every problem we face, the financial problems you have.
Yes.
I had when I was 18 years old. I'm now almost debt free. Mm-hmm. I had a fraud that some friends do to me. Mm-hmm. I had a debt of €500,000. That's almost $600.
Right.
And I was 18 years old.
Right.
Without any help, I fixed it. So if people say, but I don't need to buy a financial problem. Every problem you're facing, the marriage problem, the relationship problem,
right.
the problem with your children, the problem in your business, the problem in your work, in your career, and you can call it.
Yeah.
There is someone who faced it already and overcome it.
That's right. Sure is.
And let's be honest, you're also a human being. So if he or she can overcome it, why can't you?
Yeah, exactly. So how do you
It's so shifting of mind, but we need to see this.
Okay.
Ricardo?
Yeah. Okay, didn't hear you.
Exactly you want to say?
Okay, no, I was waiting for you to finish.
Yeah, I was finished.
Oh, okay. So how do you you bridge that dream world with the unconscious, right? The unconscious, because consciously you're taking like you said about this last part here. You're taking note of all these things. There's no lack in solutions, but only lack of creativity. So you're physically doing all of that. So there's some things that are subconsciously kind of holding you inactive or limited. How do you bridge dreams into that unconscious part?
How can I explain it the easiest way? Let's give an example of my life. The dream that I'm living right now, I'm not yet on my destination.
Okay.
I'm just at the start. Mm-hmm. But it took me when I got this a clear picture, when I was 13 in that computer room. Mm-hmm. When I was 30, I got into the dream. It took me 17 years to go from the dream to step into the dream.
Gotcha.
Got the dream. So, but that 17 years, I did a lot, but what happened in that 17 years, because that's so important, because it's easy to reach your dream.
Right.
That's not so difficult.
Right.
but so, it's hard to stay there.
Right.
How many singers or presenters or actors get famous,
And
and two
stay
years
famous.
later nobody heard of them all?
Yeah. Stay famous.
So
Yeah.
so that's the same with dreaming. And to answer your question, what happened in that 17 years? You talked earlier in this conversation about the skill set that I put. It's not the skill set that I developed, it's the character.
Character.
Of,
Like it.
and,
Like it.
and that starts with first thing people need to know before you can step in a healthy way into your dream, and that's also about mindset. It's just that most people try to prove themselves the whole day.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
They want to get the likes. They want to get the promotion. They
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
get
yeah.
that title, that function. They want to get the compliments from their husband or their wife.
Yeah.
And I don't say these things are bad,
Right.
but before you can step into your dream in a healthy way to stay there, not for just 1 year, but for the rest of your life, and that also your children and the grandchildren and the grandchildren can have the profit of it, is that you approve yourself without doing stuff.
Uh-huh.
So stop doing stuff.
Stop doing stuff.
Stop proving yourself, because
Yes.
your worthiness, your worthiness is not depending on what you're doing. If
Right.
so, you will collapse, because you're not depending on who you are.
Yeah.
You're depending on what people say.
You
what
are.
happens to you, what people do to you, and all these mean things, and and the self-pityness. Now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, a lot of people have that, not listeners of the podcast, of course. But so that's the first thing, and I had to learn that too. To learn, and I give also as a theology man the example of Jesus. When he got baptized, he didn't do any miracle. And if people believe if he was the Son of God or not, historical, he lived. So
Right.
he didn't do anything at all.
Right.
And what happened when he got baptized? God says, "This is my beloved in whom I am well pleased." That's strange, let's be honest. Because when do we give compliments normally? When people do stuff.
Very good. That's very good.
When your boss comes to you and gives you a compliment because you work so well.
Right.
Not before when you get
That's
the
very
interview,
good.
you get coming in and you say, I do it, but most people not. You come in and your boss says before you get anything to say, and he said, I'm proud of the work you're doing and I'm proud of who you are.
Right.
But we hardly know each other. I even know if I'm gonna sign the contract. That's right.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
And that is something that we need to realize, not only in our head, but also in our feelings, in
Yes,
our mental
absolutely.
way, and everything.
Yeah.
From that, the next thing, what you need to do is, if you know what your dream is, surround yourself with people who go in the same direction.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
Surround yourself with
we
them.
become like the people who we gather with. So don't marry a husband or a wife who goes in the other direction in their life. It's not bad what they're doing, but you don't help each other. You're gonna fight each other. You're gonna be unhappy because she wanna go to other direction than you.
Right.
Don't have friends, and I don't say, but I have friends that go in the other direction. I don't say that you break up with them directly,
Right.
because I never advise that. But what I advise is find people who go in the same direction and hang
Right.
more with them.
Right.
And see what happens with the other friendships. Some will come on and jump on your car or your bandwagon, and some not. So that's so important, because what we hear is what we believe,
Right.
and what we believe is how we are,
Yeah.
and how we are is how we act.
Oh,
And
wow.
mostly we
Good.
start with changing our acts.
Yes. Absolutely.
But that's just fake change.
Right.
That's like pushing a ball on the water, put some pressure on it, and when you relax, what happens with the ball? It pops
Goes
up.
all over. Yeah. It goes all over. That's right.
So that's the two main things I advise to young people, to potential leaders. I speak a lot of leaders. I speak to them and learn them that I had to learn, because when you are a leader, when you are an entrepreneur, but also when you're a father or mother, you are a leader of the household. When you are a leader and you're still depending on what people say and what things are doing to you, it won't work out well.
It won't.
When you have a relationship and you're depending on what your husband or your wife thinks of you, you get a terrible time. Because a relationship is not about getting, it's about giving. And if both giving, you can also receiving, not getting.
Exactly.
Receiving. So
exactly.
It's the basic thing we need to learn and build a character in the silence, in the things, that get a servant and a humble heart, because that's so important.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's really good. So, audience, I know this is great stuff for my audience and I to get to know all about what you do as a dream expert. And you are in the Netherlands, Ricardo. Yes. So, I want them to hashtag stop proving yourself. I love that. Stop proving yourself. So hashtag stop proving yourself for Ricardo. And it's going to be part of the hashtag for the show.
Can we change it a little bit?
Sure.
A better one.
Go ahead.
To make it a proclamation.
Go ahead.
I am stop proving myself. Hashtag I am stop proving myself.
I am
Just make it a proclamation to yourself.
Proving myself. Okay. A proclamation. Okay. I am going to stop, or I am stop proving myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, audience, I hope that you're getting some good information, because I'm just writing and taking notes. I'm supposed to be interviewed. But all of this is really, really good stuff. I like everything that you're saying about the character. I like it all. It's just amazing. And how the dream does, kind of filter in everything that we do. So I like that. So now that we know all about, what you do, can you tell my audience how to get in contact with you if you have a special offer, like what's going on in the, in the Netherlands that you're doing? So tell us a little bit about that.
Let's first tell a little bit about our organization, and then I go to how they contact me.
Sure.
We start in Corona time. We are now with 15 people, mainly young people, but also elders. And we try to, through our TV shows, to a podcast, to my books, to a lot of ways to reach the young people, especially the 16 till 25 years old, but also people from outside the audience, to help them to discover, reach, and live the dreams in a fearless and healthy way, despite the circumstances.
Right.
And we do it through inspiration, of course, that's a direct way, but also entertainment or infotainment. Get them to think by themselves.
Okay.
Because I can give you all the stuff, but I want to activate you as the audience, as young people, that you can discover it, and to also give them. We do also journalism. I'm a journalist now for 10 years.
Okay.
So we do it in a lot of ways, but just let people stop with being lazy. And I don't say about proving. Stop with being lazy. Just consuming the information, what's coming to me, and I just believe it. I don't say all the information is bad, but think for yourself. Even though if you listen to this podcast, think about it.
Yeah, and put it into action. Put some of the things into action.
Think also, what's my opinion about
it? Right.
Because if you don't internalize it,
it
won't work.
Right.
don't get it because Ricardo said it or Edna said it, even though it's true. That's not the point.
Right.
But take it in action when you believe
Exactly.
it. When you say, yeah, that's my opinion too. So that's what we do in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we're still growing. I travel also a lot about around the world. In Corona time, a little bit less. But also been to the United States several times. A lot of countries. Besides that, how people can contact me and okay. On this moment, yeah, my girlfriend is sitting at the other end of the room and she begins to laugh because she knows what's coming. I said it to everyone. People can go to my Linktree/Ricardo Kok.
Okay.
And there's the website of the organization, my website, all the interviews, my books, all kinds of stuff, podcasts. Now you can watch it all there. But there's also my email. And if someone of the audience has a question, a comment, or some way that I can help them, and there is no dumb question, there is no silly question, just write me an email or go to one of the social media pages, also on the Linktree, or write me a DM. I always answer, not always the same day, because on this moment today I saw I had 200 new emails and I get it.
Oh, you got to catch up.
So I get always every day around to 100, 200 emails from young people or elders, and I answer them all. And if there is a way I can help you in some way, sometimes with inspiration, but sometimes also in a practical way, I will do it because that's my calling. I'm there to serve people and get them into their dreams.
Okay.
That's my dream.
All
so
right.
that's the first thing I want to offer. That's totally free. But I have also a good offer because we have a limited time. Before Corona, I wrote already a book, but it was 250 pages, and I want to call it Fearless. But then we start with the organization. I thought, okay, the young people, they don't read so much. You know what? I'm going to rewrite it into a 16-part series.
Okay.
Pocket books from maximum of 80, 90 pages.
Okay.
Put it already in Dutch and English. And the first three books of the series are already out. The System of Success, The Root of Fear, and The Message of the Cross.
Okay.
And before I give the offer, I said it already a little bit earlier, but one of the first chapters of the first book is the basic of change, and that stop changing yourself. So when you read it, just take the information, just read it, but don't try to force it. Just do it in a relaxed way. That's one of.
And what is the name of the book? What is the name of the book?
The first book is The System of Success. The second book is The Root of Fear.
Okay.
And the third book that's already out, The Message of the Cross, but there will be 13 other parts. The next three will come later this year. But for these three books, I want to offer to your audience for the next 3 months.
Okay.
It's exclusive.
Okay.
A 40% discount on every book, not on the total price, on every book. That means that in American dollars, that a book normally is $5.35, and it will be for $3.21.
That's beautiful.
So that's very cheap, and I know from people who already read it, they get a lot of it, and not because I claim that I'm the wisdom and I want to set you on a track. That's my mission. I don't say I have all the wisdom because I'm also a human being, and that's what I try to do in a practical way because I love to be practical,
right?
Not only abstract. And I think you got it already in this conversation. Okay. So I want to offer that, and if people want it, but I think we put it also in the show notes.
Yeah.
They can go then to books.fearlessgeneration.nl. It's also on the Linktree because they need to
you're on Linktree.
purchase it on that website. Because if you go to Amazon directly, we can give the discount.
Okay.
And from there, you can put then the discount code Keep It Real.
Okay.
2022 0209.
Repeat that number again. Repeat that again. Keep it real.
Keep It Real 2022
2022 02
0209.
09. Okay, so we have our own code for these three books by Ricardo Kok. And this is amazing, and we thank you for the offer. We have our little own code, which is so great. Keep It Real 2022 0209. So I'm going to add it in the comment section of the when the post comes out, and you will have this offer here and you're getting a great deal for great knowledge, and you're supporting an author that's really talking about keeping your dreams alive. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ricardo, for that information. I'm sure my audience is going to follow up, and I will follow up with you to get the information to give to them. Yeah. Okay, so
you're welcome, and thanks.
No problem. No problem.
It's an honor to be here and to talk with you.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. From the Netherlands. So
and I'm still loving the podcast now. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So I want to ask you, so now that we turned the tables and you told us about, your business and how to find you, now we want to ask you a couple of personal questions. And and so we want to get to know you as a person. So here we go. So what would you pick for your last meal?
It's an open question. What do I pick for my last meal of my life, I guess?
Yes.
So, I'm not big of it either anymore, but I think it will be spinach with rice and eggs.
Oh, I love rice and egg. I know I love spinach and eggs a lot. I don't know why. You just solidified it. I don't know where I got that taste from, but thank you.
Yeah, I love that. My girlfriend loves it, and my daughter, she doesn't like vegetables, but when I make rice with eggs with spinach, she loves it, and she eats it like it is, how do you call it, fries, French fries.
Yeah, they all like that.
so yeah, that's I love that.
Well, I'm going to ask you this question. I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you this. If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
So a billboard. So I never thought of a billboard. Now, with anything on it, then I want to put, and I don't ever think about this question, but I want then a billboard. Maybe it's a little bit expensive, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Billboard that is a mirror, that when people walk by, they see themselves, and on that mirror there will be a speech balloon, and in the speech balloon is the text, "I'm worthy of it. It doesn't matter what people say."
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm worthy of it, and it doesn't matter what people say.
In that speech balloon,
and
just as a reminder.
That's beautiful. I'm worthy of it. I'm writing this down. No matter what people say. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. I wish I could hashtag that. But that's excellent. That's really good, Ricardo. That's a good one. I like that one. So, and what is your favorite color, by the way?
My favorite color, most people will surprise it, but pink.
Okay. Well, sometimes
also a pink suit. About also in traditional churches. Then comes the colorized boy, and many traditional churches in Holland, they put white old men in black coats or suits.
Yeah, exactly.
And then comes a young boy.
Yeah,
He's a little bit more enthusiastic and energy, with a pink suit, and he has a little bit of color. Sometimes you see people think, or when I'm standing at the door, where they don't use of it, and just give them the hand when they come in, and later, I didn't think you was the preacher today. So yeah, because pink, it's the
The feminine color.
The vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Color,
Yep.
Way of red, of love. So
yeah. But you know what I think about that color also? It's also labeled as salmon too, you know, like that salmon pink, right? And I think about salmon, how they swim upstream, you know, like. So you're going upstream, you know. You're going against the grain. That's the way it's supposed to go, you know.
You know, last week I was in. That was my first because I was just doubting about 1 year to go also an English podcast because when I was younger I was the baddest English student and my English teacher said, you can never speak English for your life. So I was a little bit insecure. But my first podcast in English was the Leaders Lab, and exactly the example I said at a certain moment, and I said it a lot. That fish, they go with the stream. Live fish, they go upstream. So I love it when you say it.
That's right. That's right.
That wasn't my first English podcast.
That's right. Oh, okay. So that brought back some memories.
Yeah. It was
That's great.
Week ago or 1.5 weeks or something.
Oh, that's great. So final thoughts, Ricardo. What is your best tip you can share with other people in our audience about either starting a business or being encouraged? What can you give them as final thoughts?
I give a whole lot of good tips. But final thought, I think the best tip is this. And I talked about it a little bit earlier. And a lot of people, they are, because of society says so, you need to focus, and that's good. I don't say it's bad. We try to find our voice and what's our thing. But when I look at my daughter, and my daughter's a little Ricardo, but she's, daddy's princess.
Daddy's baby, daddy's baby.
But
yeah,
when I look but when I look at her, she loves a lot, and that's good. She loves to play football, to play hockey, field hockey, like the daddy. She loves to play with dolls, play with cars. She loves a lot to make music, to dance. And she is in the period of the playground. Let's call it like that. And that's with a lot of people too. When you're in the period of the playground period, you don't want to try to force focus on yourself. Just, okay, you need to focus on being the dream expert, or being this, or being that, or being this, or being so. Just enjoy that playground period,
right,
because it will help you to step into your dream. In that playground period, your character will build. Right. You get the right friends. You discover what your dream is, what that focus will be. And even though business coach, they say it a lot, and I have always discussions with them. Even though business coach say, yeah, but you need to focus and try one thing. Yeah, that's of course that is the truth.
Right.
But don't let
that stop you.
Put that rule on you when you are in that playground period, and a lot of people are there. And how do you know that you're there? Until the moment that you can be happy, joyful, give yourself compliment without doing anything at all on a day. When you're watching Netflix the whole day and you were being useless, you know what I meant. And not useless as a person, but just you don't accomplish anything that day. And you still at the end of the day say to yourself, I'm proud of yourself. Until that moment, you are in the playground.
Right.
So don't try to focus yourself just in that playground moment.
Okay.
Stop yourself, and the focus will come later on when you step from the playground period to get into the promised land. Let's say that.
Wonderful. That's good advice. Thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for listening, audience. And if you enjoyed the episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post it on social media, become a sponsor, or leave a rating and review. Now remember, If you press the button below the podcast, you can actually leave Ricardo Kok a question if you'd like that. If you'd like to leave him a question, please do so. All right? So to catch up to me, you can always follow me on Facebook at EJW Coaching, Instagram, EJW Coaching, and Twitter, EJW Coaching. This is Edna White, your host of Keeping It Real on Purpose, and my guest today, Ricardo Kok, and we're saying goodbye for now.
Bye.